It's Sunday,
Sunday
right?
morning.
It is Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, I was joking when we got you in. It was a Sunday. It was Sunday, you know.
Yeah.
That was going to mess me up this morning.
So, on that note, please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay, my name is Sunday Wilde, Ontario. I know you're in Northern Ontario too, but I'm in Thunder Bay.
Yeah, you're a little more
quite a ways away. And I consider myself a blues artist, and I've released my 9th album recently. And I continue to write songs and record and do whatever. I play the piano, and I'm actually sitting at the piano right now because that's the perfect place for the laptop.
Nice,
so, yeah, and I used to live in a little town called Atikokan, which is closer to Manitoba border. So I lived there and I raised my kids for 20 years and they got big and went off to the big city down south in university, right? And then my partner, who I used to play music with for quite a while, passed away, and I'm like, I gotta get somewhere else to play more music. Mm-hmm. And I did a lot of touring down to southern, like to Mississippi and Memphis, Tennessee. And touring, though, is like a brutal kind of thing. You need a lot of resources, to tour.
Mm-hmm. No, I know all about hitting the road for a long time, right? So it's definitely an endurance, not only mentally, but physically, too, to even do all those shows every night, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You have to have the endurance not to stay up all night long partying. I mean, that'll take a toll when you're older, right? Younger people, go at it and have fun. That's what I say. But, my partner was 60-something. So, but also the resources like hotel room costs and gas and stuff. So we did it for more like to have fun and spread the word around about the music. That's what we did.
Right on.
No, it's fantastic.
So where have you toured?
The last time I went out of town to play was I went down to Memphis in what is it now? I missed a whole year. We all missed a year, right?
I know.
2020? No.
Oh,
shit.
2019, I guess.
2019 or before, probably.
Yeah. We'll go with 2019, right?
Okay, 2019. So we went down for a couple weeks. We drove down to Mississippi and Memphis, and I played some shows. I was a competitor in a big international blues competition. It's called the International Blues Competition. Hey, Marie. Somebody said hello in the chat room. Hey.
Yeah, I'll pull that up now and again.
Okay. So I went down and I did some radio interviews, and we were in the competition. I went with a drummer that I was working with here in town. We did a duo, and then we drove and we played a couple other shows and came home. So that was like in January. So right, you know what it's like in the winter.
Yeah.
The winter's brutal. But I have actually spent a lot of time doing a lot of various recordings too. So the other kind of touring that I did 2017, we did 2 tours that year before my partner passed away. We did a 7-week tour. We went to Ottawa, Montreal, Sault Ste. Marie, Nashville, Memphis, Clarksdale, and then we went out to the prairies for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something. Saskatoon, Regina, that kind of thing. And then I went to the West Coast, like Victoria and Duncan, BC. I don't know if you've ever been to the island.
I've heard of Duncan, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that place. I've never been out west, so.
Oh, Duncan was the place that I went to, and I just said to him, I don't want to go home. It was just one of those places, And you know what? TJ, it's gorgeous, but it's also like full of like really artistic people, and they're very supportive of one another. And so that's what I experienced there anyways. I mean, maybe not everybody's going to have that experience, but I did. So I was like, I don't want to go home. Let's move here. So
that's awesome.
It's not too often you find a place, especially on the road, that you're just like, no, I could stay here the rest of my life. We're cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I love touring. I absolutely love traveling. I absolutely love meeting new people. I like playing and meeting new people. Like, I haven't done any online concerts. Lots of people are doing online concerts, right? But I mean, I don't do music for that reason. Personally, I do music so I could get out of the house and meet some new people and have a cigarette and have a drink with them after or in between or community building. You know what I mean? So that's
always nice to say, watch you guys play up on stage and then have that beer with you afterwards. Go out and have a drag and shoot the shit for a minute. Like, I know as a fan, you know, that's always what you look for when you go and you see a show, right? So it's always nice to have that, you know?
Exactly. And music is, I feel like music, and you guys know this because you support so many other musicians. Music is a calling for people. And hi, Adam. Music is
there it is.
Hey. Music is a calling for people, and it's like almost like a new religion in a way. You know, when people used to go to church years ago, you might go to church, I don't know, your family might go to church, I don't know, but a lot of people don't. But years ago, when you attended church, you had your community there on Sunday and you met up with them and you had lunch with them and you called upon them when you needed help too, right?
Well, I know
it was a community building of your friends and your neighbors and something that you all believed in. And that's what music is now. I feel like you call upon your people to help you, vice versa. Like if you were traveling through and you guys needed a place to stay, you hit me up and I say, okay, what do you want for breakfast?
Yeah, right. I like my scrambled eggs and a little bit of bacon and toast on the side.
Yeah, I'll try to do that. But you know what I mean?
I think the least I could do if I got the crash is make breakfast for everyone. So
my God, you're the perfect man. I swear to God.
Working on it. I've been reading up on it.
So I really think that music is now a new, like a religion for us, I think, you know, like I have friends that if they're traveling and vice versa, if I go there, hey, you know, I need a amp or I need a blah, 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 or whatever. Networking and stuff is basically just having a circle of friends, right? You know?
No, it's so true though. Like I really noticed that when I first started focusing on music for the show, when I met up with Jonathan from, or Johnny Eyeball, they call him, right out of Hawksetters and Die Sci-Fi. He's the one that introduced me to the little tight-neck punk community that was here in this area. And then from there, it almost just mushroomed out into all the communities for myself because I'm pushing myself out there, trying to get into this community, that community. It's, everywhere I go, it's like family. It's unbelievable. It's totally changed.
Exactly.
Who I am in a sense now, you know.
Like that too.
And so my son is the punk rock artist. His name's Dawson, and he, you know, he's got a tight little punk rock community around him, right? He's a performer, but he also goes to other people's shows, and he hosts them, and he has them stay there if they're traveling. But COVID's right now, but whatever, you know, you get the point.
Yeah.
No, we definitely need to shoot the shit with the boy there eventually, man.
You know what? You know punk rock, right? So it's very values driven. You know what I mean? It's not just the music, but that, and also the lifestyle and what it stands for, right?
Yeah.
So he's big into that, and he plays music with his girlfriend. His girlfriend plays bass.
Oh wow!
Cool. Nice.
Can't argue with that,
right on. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. I'm just adjusting this headphone thing.
Oh no, we the band we had on last night. They are a duo as well as a duo. So
yes.
Yeah, you see some pretty good pairs in music sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's awesome. And I had that. Like, my partner played upright bass, and I played piano, and we toured around as a duo. And
That's awesome.
it was fun. Yeah, it
And
was
it
fun.
worked, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I bet.
Amanda,
I can imagine.
are you in Niagara Falls?
I am.
Okay. And you're in Sudbury?
No.
Or did I mix that up?
No, I work way up there a lot of the times. My work takes me all over. We worked in North Bay and Thunder Bay and Gravenhurst. And
Okay.
But I'm actually out of Angus right now for the next couple of weeks, and then I think we're all moving to a bigger house, I think. So I'm moving once again.
Oh, my.
Oh.
We'll talk backstage, TJ.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, boy. No, that's awesome, though.
I don't know where Angus is. Where is Angus? I've
Over
never
by
heard of it.
Barrie.
Yeah.
Barrie
Okay.
Lake, Barrie,
Okay.
Just
Okay, yeah.
The two of us are spread pretty far apart, but we managed to make this work pretty well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're always busy doing stuff, and like even for my new album, I've had 2 interviews a week. I think almost.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
you haven't stopped since it came out, eh? And we're going to ask you to talk about it again too. I'm just enjoying
Yeah,
it.
sure. Yeah. I swear to God, the only people that want to talk to me are DJs. I was going to say
well,
that.
neither of us are that, so we know some, but
well, you guys, I consider you too, because anybody supporting music like this is a DJ, kind of, right? You know what I mean?
I guess in a sense.
Indirectly, yeah. I totally get that.
Well, what do you call yourself then?
I'm a music biographer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Even people,
I'm just
people
a
that do
alcoholic.
Yeah.
Friends online.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I'm a music writer, biographer. I've been writing since I was a little kid, and I figured music was a good way to make my dream of being able to spend every night in the mosh pit and my love of writing my career. And
that's
works.
awesome. Great. That's great.
Yeah. So yeah. So, and TJ, I don't know. You're like podcaster, music lover, interviewer, networker. Yeah. Between the 2 of us, we've got all kinds of names.
Yeah. I just do it all basically, right? So
yeah. Whatever we can, we do.
Right now we're in the processes of putting together a comedy week, comedy nights in the show here with friends from all over. We're working on the cooking show that I was talking to you about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We just filmed our first episode yesterday, so we've got to edit it all up and shit, right?
Which is going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
How do you sleep? You're working and I don't know how you guys sleep. You're working and doing all that too. Wow.
As you can see, I don't sleep very much.
Yeah, TJ's carrying some extra luggage. I wore some makeup, so you can't see mine. But we get up around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and we go to bed around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Usually,
oh my God!
Got meetings with Australia and South Africa, I'm up at 3. Then I lay back down for an hour or 2. Then I get up, I go work my normal job, right? 10, 12, 13 hours a day, and then I get home at night in time to clean up, do some prep, and then we're live on the air most of the time, right? So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Any days we're not doing shows, that's when I'm working on Sofa City and Kiss Craze. So.
Yeah. Not me. I'm sleeping.
So, and in the meantime, I'm homeschooling too. So we find time to sleep, I think.
Yeah. Now and again.
Yeah.
now eating's a different story. I eat when when I can.
Well, so I started
mostly on the fly.
So now I have to eat because that makes me eat because now I'm cooking on the show, so I gotta fucking eat. So that's definitely gonna help out on my diet, right?
The cooking show is a great idea. One of these days, I mean, if you can, once you start traveling, it would be awesome if you could do like some outside stuff, right? Barbecue stuff or fishing, camping food, that kind of stuff. That'd be fun.
I saw that, TJ.
Yeah. Because
he likes the camping thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you just planted an idea in his head. That's all.
Yeah.
I saw the lights go on. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I used to live in Atikokan, and that was right near canoeing capital of the world, Quetico Park. I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
I think.
You and I have.
And that's where people are going canoeing for a couple weeks in the park with just a little bit of stuff, eh? And they gotta, so it's interesting. There's all sorts of stuff you can do with food, right? Food and music and people, of course, have the biggest variety of things in life that we can enjoy.
Yeah.
So it's a good mix.
Where this show is going to bring all that together. We're going to have our laughter, our food, and our music.
Yeah.
And those are the three things that everyone anywhere in the world can fucking come over together and, eat some food, laugh it up, play some fucking tunes, and have a great time, So
Yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. TJ's going to have some fun with that. I got a few other things in the works, but that one's going to be a fun one. Yeah,
I
definitely.
can almost go anywhere in the world and stay with somebody now.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right, so we're working on the connections, right? And then that'll be a big part of the following year's show. Is going to be a lot of my travel stuff will be edited out and done as a travel show, right? So
you'll just have to take a year off work.
Yeah, last time I took 32 days off, and I just took off in my car, went to Arizona and Mexico and shit.
Yeah.
Really?
All across the U.S., yeah.
Really? Do you want to come to Memphis? Do you want to come to Memphis with me next year?
I'm already there. I'm writing it down in my book right now.
Write it down in your book?
Yeah.
You got a car? You got a vehicle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got a passport?
Yeah.
I got two.
Yeah, you have two you have two passports.
He's dual citizen.
Really?
Yeah, so I can work and live in the U.S.
I went down to Memphis like 7 times already, eh? And the last time, I was telling you earlier, and we had lots of fun. I brought up my upright bass back from Mississippi because my partner left one down there because when we went and played, he bought one to just leave it.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to be able to go to New Orleans this year too, and also go back to Memphis because during the reason I'm asking is because in January of 22, is it 21? Yeah, it's 21.
Yeah, it's 21 right now. Yeah.
Oh God, it's such a mix-up right now. They'll have the International Blues Competition again, right? I'm sure.
Oh, because that's right in around the time I'm planning a road trip expedition, and we should fucking make that happen, actually.
Really? And you would love it. You would meet so many musicians down there, and you could do like live things right on the street, all sorts of stuff.
And
from all over the world, like blues though, right? But blues rock. Like I'm not blues.
Part of the road trip thing with you and I cruising on down there.
Oh yeah, because there's so many things you could do. Like I'm not a rock musician. I know you guys do metal and rock and all that, and I like some of that too. But I don't do that kind of music myself.
No. Well, I've got to say, like, I do love my music, my loud music, my loud aggressive. But like today and even yesterday during the cooking show, to throw on your tune and your album, you couldn't ask for better music for that day. Like it doesn't always.
Oh, that's nice. What music was it that you were listening to?
Yours, Dead Man's Clothes was the first one I listened to. I've been playing it over and over. I really love it.
Do you like that one?
Yeah.
I love that one.
A few other artists like Sean James. He does a really sick rendition of Ain't No Sunshine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love that song.
Bluesy. Definitely The Doors. They're always on my Sunday playlist for the most part.
I love The Doors. Love The Doors.
One of my favorites of all time bands, like as far as like bands that I used to worship and shit, definitely The Doors, man. I'm surprised I don't have them tattooed on me.
Yeah, I love The Doors. A lot of people don't like The Doors. Like I have a lot of friends that love music and they're like, I don't get it. Yeah. I'm like, what?
How do you not understand?
You know what I noticed about The Doors too, TJ, is I've never seen any cover bands that cover Jim Morrison.
No. I've only ever seen Creed did a couple Doors songs, and we actually got to see Robbie Krieger play with Creed at Woodstock. So that was my joy of seeing the Doors in that sense. But you're right, though. There's never a They'll do a
Yeah.
song, but there's never
Yeah.
a full cover band, right?
Yeah, because there's tribute bands that cover everybody, right?
Yeah.
Janis Joplin, la la la, ABBA, blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
and Johnny
no,
Cash and
those
Elvis, but not Jim Morrison. And I asked around about that to a couple people. I'm like, how come nobody's ever done a tribute band for Jim Morrison and the Doors?
Maybe
And they
we
just
can
said he's one of a kind person, so it was just something that
just
people
how it
couldn't
goes.
do. Maybe I'm not
Now,
sure.
mind you, when Val Kilmer did that movie, The Doors, he sang all out himself, and
Yeah.
he could have
Did
actually
he
done a
really?
tribute band.
Wow.
Yeah, he did an amazing job on that movie.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
insisted he got to sing all that. Like,
That's cool.
Yeah, there's a few good biopics where the actual actors sing. I watched Ray with Jamie Foxx. He
Yes.
sang everything, and I watched Get On Up. What was the kid's name? Chadman Boswick. Get On Up is about James Brown.
I have to watch that.
It
I have to watch that.
I watched it a couple of weekends ago. We did a whole weekend of like biopics and music and all kinds of stuff. And
I have to watch that. That's awesome.
It was awesome. It was so good. It was like out of the three we watched Bohemian Rhapsody too. And out of the three that we watched, that one was my favorite.
Oh.
So yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
So I mean, there's great performers that do cover music and stuff like that, but also too, like, original artists need a lot of support too, right? Because and this is where I'm going to talk about the CBC Searchlight thing, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Yes, we were going to ask about that too.
Circling
We're
around
just enjoying conversation.
That,
that's all.
It's okay. I know how to keep on.
Yeah, so do we.
So yeah. So we're obviously in Canada, the three of us, but some people that are watching might not be from Canada. And so Canadian Broadcasting Corporation does a contest once a year, all genres. And this year Toyota is sponsoring it with some prizes and things like that. And I submitted a song called Show Me Mercy from that same album from Dead Man's Clothes that you were listening to. Yep. Which was done 2 years ago. I've already released another album since that time.
I know.
and other music too, other compilation stuff. I've been involved in lots of things. So if anybody wants to go vote, they just do a search. Anyways, I'm asking people to go and vote.
Yeah.
If you could vote for my song, that'd be great. Vote for anybody's songs, really. Like we all need support. So
repost the link up after the show. So I know I've already posted it once this week, but I'll get it back up so more people can get it.
Thanks you guys. You guys. And anybody wherever in the world can vote, and you can vote a couple, if you have a computer and an iPad, you can vote twice that way on different browsers and things. And so what they do, which is very tricky because they have 2,500 songs this year, and they're narrowing it down to only 50.
So is it all genres competing together?
Yes.
Oh, because I know a couple other bands. I was going to say vote for them and these guys, but if it's...
Well, who's it? Tell me who they are, and I'll vote for them later.
FX May Vary's on there. They sent me a link over, and that was when I first heard about it. And then 2 minutes later, you and I started talking about it.
Oh, okay.
So that's one of the bands I know on there for sure, right? So
they narrow it down by votes, the top 50 out of 2,500. So can you imagine how many votes you have to have?
Oh, that's going to be
crazy. And then also, the judges pick 50 songs. So there's 100 songs that get selected in the end, 50 from voters and 50 from the industry judges, I guess.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I checked out some of the other music because I love checking out music. And there's a kid in there that's 10 years old.
Nice.
Wow.
awesome.
So and I know there's so much music in Canada. So these are all Canadian original songwriters, so that's really freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm. There's 2,500 to go through too that are all original and awesome. That's awesome. There's no shortage of new good music that's coming out. Yeah, and all Canadian, which is fantastic too.
Exactly. So yeah, and if anybody wants to vote for that, and the song that I submitted, I actually was awarded a semifinalist nod from the International Songwriting Competition for it last year
Oh,
too.
wow.
And so the International Songwriting Competition is huge. They get 26,000 submissions.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Climb that ladder right to the
That
top.
just-
eh?
Yeah, that just makes 2,500 not seem so bad.
No,
Oh,
no.
wow,
no.
26,000?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's an
Yeah.
honor to have you
Yeah,
on
so-
today, and
Yeah,
I cannot wait to cook you
absolutely.
breakfast.
I'm not blushing because I have so much makeup on. So
You
yeah.
chose the right color lipstick this morning, that's for sure.
Well, you can put more makeup on with Zoom, eh? You can put
Yeah.
way more makeup on.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that song's been very, very, and also from that album that he did, Dead Man's Clothes and Show Me Mercy. There's a bunch of songs from that actually.
That album
The
is
whole
One-Eyed
album-
Jack, is it not?
Yeah.
One-Eyed Jack, the name? Yeah.
Mhm.
The whole album was nominated for an Independent Music Award for the Best Blues Album last year too. So I had a lot of accomplishments and successes. So you know what, it keeps you going, sort of.
Mhm.
And I feel pretty proud because I'm a woman doing it too. And I know, Amanda, you're a woman, and so you understand that there's a few different challenges that women have to embark upon a musical journey, right?
Oh, I can only imagine how rough it must be in the beginning, for sure. Until has there ever come a point where people stop questioning you as a woman, as an artist? Do they just
No.
accept you as the artist, or do you always find yourself having to kind of prove yourself, regardless?
Well, the
all
thing
these
is,
accomplishments?
I don't have to prove myself because
No,
the music, it's weird because you know what? My mother raised me that I could do whatever the frick I wanted.
Mhm.
Amanda has 2 girls and she's going to raise her girls. You do whatever the frick you want.
That's why they're homeschooled.
Yeah, you
So
do
that they know they can do whatever they want. I grew up that way too. My mom discovered I could write when I was 6 years old, and she went, "Don't stop until you do something with it." And,
oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm.
The day I got sober, I picked my pen back up, and I haven't turned around to look back.
That's awesome.
So,
as a woman, when I got into music, and you might have dealt with this in your pursuits, all of a sudden I was embarking upon these guys that were talking to the guys in the band and not me, when I was the one fucking, excuse my language, organizing.
Go on.
Fucking
Organizing. If I'm the one organizing it all,
Yeah.
and I'm making the decisions on different things, yeah, sure, like I want some feedback, but you don't ask the guy in the band when I'm the leader of the band.
Yeah. It's definitely a man's world. It's difficult to carve our path, but I think the louder we are in making our name, the quieter we not necessarily quieter, but we don't necessarily need to be as loud afterwards because we have carved our path. And I know, like, I've been in this industry for 7 years, and it's only the last 2 years where I've been able to say, hey, like, I'll do that for you, and people go, okay, so it's interesting to navigate too, because you when people don't know who you are, sometimes they'll go, oh, well, let me talk to this person, or where's your boss or whatever, and it's like, I run this shit, like you can talk to me. So we can definitely identify in that.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
I've noticed though, since like doing the show and stuff, we've almost had more female lead front singers on the show than men in that sense.
We've had a lot of females.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, very, very strong women too.
And I belong like on Facebook, I belong to a few different women supporting women in the arts and stuff groups. And like, because I'm older now, I'm 52, right? I've been doing this not my whole life though. I got started late. I got started in my late 30s doing this, and I made 9 albums in 10 years.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Amazing.
And write the songs. I'm a songwriter. I write a lot of songs, and I'm getting better at the instrument. But I like to share some of this stuff with the younger women trying to get into it too. And it just amazes me the stuff that can come out of people's mouths about like generalizing about who I am as a person. I'm a person.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's interesting, but you know what? Thank God there's so many men that are supportive and not disrespectful and not sexist.
Yeah.
And I have to always think about those people because those are the ones that are joining a bigger circle and getting much more things accomplished in life, quite honestly.
Yeah. If you
Definitely.
don't use all your resources to accomplish your goal, then how can you even get it done in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this doesn't go without saying. There's lots of women in this industry that I lean on, that I'm very close to, that are very good friends of mine. But the 2 people that I'm closest to in this industry are men, and that's my boyfriend and TJ. So there are, like you say, there are a lot of good men in this industry that don't push us aside, right? Or want to speak to the man of the band or whoever it is that runs it or whatever. Because we do encounter that, But there are a lot of good men in the industry that do support us. I agree with that.
Yeah, so I'd like to be able to talk about the good things, not just the bad things. Sometimes I prefer to focus on that good thing because that's how we have to keep moving forward. And we're all suffering from, this whole curtain that has fallen over the whole entire world right now.
Yeah, right.
So this big gigantic curtain, and we have to pay attention so we're not all depressed. We have to try to pay attention to the good things as much as we can.
Yeah.
And that's how
the sun's starting to shine, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Definitely here in Canada. It's not 12 hours of darkness.
I know. I think all the snow is gone in my yard now.
Oh yeah, you guys are
awesome.
way up there. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good walk this morning. I only had to put on a hoodie, and by the time I got home, I was just in a tank top. So things are definitely starting to look up. And when the weather gets better, people's spirits are lifted. They tend to want to do more and stuff like that. So let's hope it's a good summer, no matter how things happen or the way things go, or
it's gonna be a great summer.
Let's live instead of try not to die.
He's gonna go canoeing.
I love it. Yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
My ex-husband builds canoes, TJ, and both my sons have gone there and worked for summer jobs building canoes.
Oh,
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so canoeing has been a big part of my family. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, I've had mine since I was 14. I bought it at a garage sale.
Really?
I've had it ever since. Yeah, it was one of my first things I ever bought. I'm 40 now.
You're 40 and you've had it for 26 years. Wow. What brand is that canoe? One of those aluminum ones?
Yeah, it's the old school aluminum one. And then back in the day, we actually made it wider. So I riveted it, like the thing's been to hell and back. I've been down like ski hills on it in the winter. Right?
Yeah.
Got all kinds of crazy stuff with it. So
that's what my kids have done. Yeah. They take the kayak.
Brand new paint job and everything.
Oh.
I'm not going to put out the dents. You'll still see every dent in the fucking thing, but giving her a new paint job and making her ready for the year, right? So
I love those canoes. Hi, Kevin. There's a bunch of people in the chat room here.
Sounds good.
So yeah, been super busy with my stuff for about 10 years now, and I mean, I just released my 9th album, and that 9th album's going crazy, kind of like in a way.
It's getting some real deserved attention, though. Like you can tell, you're a natural when it comes to the style of music.
That yeah.
Like Thank you. Yeah. I wrote 10 of the 11 songs. Those are my original songs. And I always say that because I'm proud of those things. And there's some really important messages in some of those songs that I wrote too, that I want people to hear. One is advice to other women. only a woman can write a song about that.
Yeah, that's true. I can Google how to do it, but that's probably not going to come out very good.
We can mansplain it to you.
Yeah.
That's hysterical. So the music's been, I recorded in my living room right here on my piano, and then I had a very simple instrumentation. There's no guitars and no drums, so that was cool. Made it's a simple album, and so I'm kind of proud of that. And then I had a clarinet player from Philadelphia play clarinet on. His name was Matt Given, and my friend Harp Dog Brown, who's a well-known harmonica player. He's won many, many awards in Canada for his harmonica. He did some tracks on the harmonica on some of the songs, not all of them. So I'm really happy about making another album during the pandemic, and I wrote most of those songs throughout. They weren't inspired by the fact that we're all shut down. It was just everything.
Yeah, you had the time to think about it and get the idea out, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the album hit #1 in Canada a couple times on a couple different charts all over. So that's amazing.
That's
very amazing. I'm proud
You've
of that.
You've been up to a lot.
Pardon me?
I said you've been up to a lot.
I've been up to a lot, yeah. And then got a review in Chicago Blues Guide too, which is a big deal for a blues artist to get reviewed in the Chicago thing.
No, Chicago's huge and renowned for their blues festival and stuff. The blues music, right?
Yeah. So for anybody that wants to check out that album, if they're watching and they have some interest, I have all my music up on Bandcamp. I just did all that Bandcamp thing, loaded all the files up there. So
did I grab that link though?
It's okay. They can just search.
A couple, anyways. I know you're up on Instagram as well, then.
On Instagram, and Bandcamp, and I got a website and stuff too. But no matter, it doesn't matter, DJ. People, you just have to Google the name now, right?
Yeah, right. You're in the title as well, so all they got to do is click and point.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. So for anybody that is also listening to, I said earlier that I got into music late in life, in my late 30s. And the reason I did get into music was because I had suffered a lot of grief and buried some children. And I started singing in the bush. And you would know what the wilderness feels like, DJ, because you go canoeing. Yeah. I went down trails and I was singing, and it made me feel better because I went a little cuckoo when I lost the children, right? The babies. Yeah, it's just a very heavy experience. And singing made me feel better. And so I just started, it just came to me that ended up being that I could do it. I don't know how. I had no dream of doing this ever.
Wow.
Yeah, I had no dream.
Young kid and stuff, did you sing as a kid and all that, or did it just came to you in your 30s?
Yeah, I sang along to albums like everybody does.
Yeah, everyone does that.
Yeah, right? I didn't do anything with music before my late 30s. And then I started writing and stuff. So for anybody listening, if you don't play an instrument and you're not into music and you're older like I am, just do it anyways. Because it brings such a massive amount of joy to you as a person. To learn something, get away from the computer, get away from your phone, sit down an instrument. If you have a lot of money and you know a bunch of poor families in the neighborhood, go and buy an instrument for some of those kids that live down the street, because kids need it.
That's amazing advice, actually. I'm going to start preaching that here on the show all the time.
Absolutely.
Rich, go buy some poor kids some instruments, man.
See, I told you it was a religion, right? See? But really, seriously, if you have a bunch of money and there's a kid, a single mom with 4 kids up the street, go and get them stuff, because the kids need to get away from computers and iPhones more. They're attached. And not that I'm not, but
I'm pretty sure it was a friend of my mom's when I started playing guitar gave me his old acoustic because we were poor. We couldn't afford shit like that. And then eventually I saved up and bought an old 72 Kent guitar. And
Cool.
then I've just played ever since, right? But
See,
yeah,
now
if it
you
wasn't
were.
for somebody giving me that
Yeah.
guitar, I probably would have
Yeah.
never played, you know. And then
See, you were given that gift by somebody that wanted you to have music in your life, and look at you're doing now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So
Exactly.
some of my equipment behind me here. There's my acoustic I did all by myself.
Wow.
Painted it all up, right?
Painted
it.
That's
Mine's sitting
neat.
at the front door.
Yeah, definitely, dude. That was when I was living in the woods, kind of living on a campfire and fucking outhouse and shit. So I sanded all that down, redid all the head, put it in the new pro inlays, right?
That's crazy. Yeah, all my kids' instruments are all over the house. There's a drum kit, a piano, a couple of guitars, there's a harmonica, there's all kinds of shit. I much prefer them banging on the drums and annoying the neighbors than I do them on the pads and stuff.
Yeah, watching them steer their tablet, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I do an online show, right? But
well, it's about balance, you know. It is, you know, like my kids, I give them, you know, time on their tablets and stuff like that, and sometimes they use theirs while I'm doing shows or whatever. But it's nice for them to have that opportunity to be able to just pick something up. Like Melody, she can sing. Mia, she can play the drums and guitar. Melody can play the piano too. But they wouldn't have had that opportunity if I had just kept the tablets in front of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And the other thing about music and songwriting particularly, but music in general, is that you know, I worked at a teen center for 5 years in Atikokan too, and I had raised my own kids too, but there's this way or that way that kids could go. And if they're pursuing music, there's so many positive experiences to get out their emotions. All of us, really. But kids could go a certain way and never come back, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am one of those kids.
Times, right?
So I am one of those kids.
So you know what I'm talking about. There's this way and that way. That's why I always say if you have extra money, or an extra instrument, whatever.
You sing, give the kid beside you lessons while you're teaching them how to cut your grass.
All sorts of things.
You know, like out there raking leaves. You know?
The other thing that I'd like always to talk about too when I do shows, like talk to people about music like this, is support those venues. Oh, Danica said she bought a keyboard and a trumpet. Awesome!
Yeah.
Right on.
I have a Yamaha keyboard too. They're great. I used to have a trumpet. Good luck with the trumpet.
Yeah. I can't see the comments because I'm using my phone. So that's why I'm not saying anything about them unless they come up. Well, you guys are okay. But anyway, I usually answer them afterwards. But when I use my phone, I can't see the comments. Yeah. So I'm glad you guys are keeping up on everything.
Just going to share this thing. Oh, no, I can't do it. Oops, never mind that. What was that? What I was going to say was about venues. Having venues that support younger people to go to them. Like certain types of music, like folk music and blues music and festivals allow younger people, but you have kids, Amanda, so you know what this is like. There's so many places you can't bring your children to watch live music.
Yeah.
Somebody else had mentioned that a little while ago, that right around the same time that, we'll use the Toronto area as a good example, right around the same time that a lot of the venues started getting knocked out for condos or swapped out. That's probably a nicer way of saying things. When they got swapped out for condos, a lot of the venues went from all ages to 19 plus, and a lot of bars, because they don't serve food, cannot have all ages evenings because of some of the laws and bylaws and stuff like that. So that was something that has already started or had already started in the last 10 years. And I know here in the falls, when we had Willie John's open, we really tried to make sure that we catered to all ages events, at least the first band or two, before 8 or 9 o'clock, before, like it was trouble when we had them in there. And not too many venues are doing that, Like, I mean, kids can't buy $11 beers. They buy $2 pops. Yeah. And when a kid is standing there, an adult is not standing there buying alcohol, and I see it from both sides of the bar because I'm a bartender as well as, do what I do. So I can understand it from a price point perspective in the evenings when you are a bar owner, when it comes to all ages shows and stuff like that. But on the same token, we're not going to be able to keep those bars open to have our kids do the things that they're doing if we're not able to give them a space to be creative. Here, we have a place called the Hose Brigade, and every once in a while somebody will rent the hall for a couple $100, and you can throw all ages shows there, and you can fit like 250 to 300 people in there. I guess that's kind of an advertisement for them as well, because we want to see things happen in the future there, and TJ will probably make things happen there in the future. Absolutely. So, because that's how we roll. You're right. There's a lot of places that don't support all ages things.
Well, it's a society thing because what you're talking about now is beer, right?
Yeah.
Well, selling beer and stuff
it's a marketing thing. Yeah, it's a marketing. Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. It's a society thing too. But it's definitely a marketing thing. It's a money thing because I know if I'm not selling an $11 can and I'm selling a $2 bottle of pop or cup of pop, that's a $9 difference.
I know. See,
right?
That's why, and this is the reality, but this is why it's sort of sad for younger people to try to get into music and learn from other musicians too, right? By going. And so this is a difference between the cities and the country towns. Because small like you think about years ago, once a month or once every Saturday, everybody gathered at a barn. And that was like grandma and auntie and kids and mom and dad. And there was music.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine those sure, there was probably booze in the back somewhere.
there was.
Listen, I grew up in the 80s. I know what we're talking.
Yeah.
When there was bush parties, you brought the kids.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah.
My dad used to teach line dancing, and we sat in the bar till 2 a.m. with him some nights, because he was out dancing and doing his thing, and then
really
because he line danced out at Loretto in there on 50, I think it is, Highway 50 or whatever. For years, as kids, like when he'd get us on the weekends off to the bar, we'd go. He'd line dance and do his teaching and. We just lived in the bar on the weekends, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's normal. Yeah. So that's one thing that I think is different between the cities and the smaller places where I lived in.
Now with the children, they fucking shelter them so much. Now everyone gets a trophy. Well, what happens when you finally move out of your mom's house and your boss looks at you and says, "You're a fucking idiot. You're fired." What's the kid gonna do now? Break down and cry and can't handle it? It's just insane.
It's a different world for raising children now. I would assume even between the two of us, mine are 8 and 10, and yours, Sunday, you said 20 years plus you've been raising kids, right? So I know that when I was raised, our parents were raising us for the world they lived in. I am raising my kids based on a world that I have no idea what it's going to be when my kids are adults. Now, myself, I believe that one of the worst things you can do as a parent is shelter your kids because they don't grow up to be strong adults. Now it's not to say that I throw my kids in the fire for everything.
No.
But I certainly don't sugarcoat things. I don't lie to them about things. They know about real world issues.
Kids, we were told, go ahead, touch the stove. You'll only do it once.
Exactly. No, we're a learn the hard way family.
Like,
Yes, absolutely. We're a learn the hard way family. My kids are rough and tumble kids. I don't shelter them from things. My kids have been to folk shows. They've been to metal shows. They've been to all kinds. Like my kids' first shows were Iron Maiden and Slipknot. So like, we don't fuck around here. We don't fuck around.
my ex's boy, his first show was Slipknot and fucking Gojira and stuff. And
we were at the same show, man. We were at the same show, and my kids were 6 and 9 years old for those shows. Those were their first shows. Mia was 6, and I took her to Slipknot and Behemoth, and Melody was 9, and we did Fear and Raven's Age and Iron Maiden. We actually have Fear on the show next month. So
cool.
Yeah. So like my kids, as far as like the music world goes, and what people are about and stuff like that, I don't really shelter them from too much. We're definitely living in a really weird world where it's hard to have your own opinion if it doesn't match a narrative. So teaching the girls balance between standing up for yourself and standing up what you believe in, and how to say it to people who don't believe in the same things that you do, so that you can still integrate into the society that we're living in right now, is a really strange thing to navigate. Absolutely is a strange thing to navigate.
But we all had to deal with that growing up.
Well,
we all had to.
It's just like when I was growing up, it didn't matter if I put on the helmet when I got on the bike. And now it's a lot different than that. Now, if your kids are seen without a helmet, it's a $1,000 fine, and you're a terrible parent. But
I never wore a helmet. I don't ever remember wearing a helmet, even on the dirt bike and the 4-wheelers. Like,
no.
I know that's dumb now. Like, I would make my kid do it, but like, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing, and I think I'm using it more as a metaphorical thing versus a real thing, which it absolutely is. But like, we grew up a little bit harder, and we managed to make things work for us in a world that we weren't raised for, and I think it's interesting to see how people are raising their kids in a world we have no idea what we're raising them for.
Yeah, I know. I have, my boys are both older, as you said, and both of them, they're not sure if they should even have children.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
I don't actually
they're
don't want children, will not have children, just because of the way, kind of how the world's playing out at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll just see what happens. We all, every day's a new day right now anyways.
Well,
I mean, like, really, the only time we can be living in is right now. And the more present we live, I mean, right at this very second for all three of us, life's pretty good. At this very moment, all three of us are sitting here and nothing is wrong. Sure, there's other things going on in our worlds in the background, but if you live presently and we're in the present at this very second,
we have mud wipes for those.
Everything is good. Occasions. Yeah.
Mud wipes.
For all your
you know what, Amanda? When I don't watch the news too much because it's a little overwhelming right now. But think about the people in India. If you had to find wood in your yard to burn your neighbors because they died, that, like, I think about that every time I feel depressed, and I'm like, oh.
I don't know.
We just have to. We're just trying to get through everything right now. We all are.
That's it. And just be grateful for the moments that we're in that are okay. Speaking to the TV thing, my TV's not even plugged in, so we don't.
Storage.
We don't. Yeah. I don't really know too much of what's going on in the world right now. I do know there's a lot going on in the world.
I read a lot, like a lot of the news, a lot of the papers, and stuff. I've got a pretty good idea. But
see, I research as things get brought up to me. Like, you just mentioned India, so that's something I'll go and research and check out. But I don't really go. I don't really watch too much news. I don't dig into too many things. I did my time with rabbit holes and stuff like that. Now I'm just trying to get the myself and the kids through and live and do what I got to do. And just be grateful that I'm here to do it, and be grateful.
That's what I do. And I have a yard I can go sit in. I can plant some beans and peas and beets in the garden. And I get up and I do my work and I try to do my music as much as I can. That's all I do. And I help my neighbors if they need help, or if I see that, they're by themselves, I check in. I think society right now would be much better off if we focused on the people on our block.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And helped the neighbors. And I'm sick. I am absolutely sick of people asking me if I have got vaccinated. Did you get your booking for your vaccination yet? You haven't even asked me how I am. But you asked me if I'm getting booking. And I don't want to talk about it other than that on the show. But I am just reaching out to anybody watching. Pay attention to who people are as opposed to what their personal choices are. Ask them if they're okay.
Yeah, like why are they making the choices? Maybe you don't know the fucking.
Or how about, did you eat today? Do you need some help getting at the grocery store? Do you need any help around your house? I know you live alone. How are you doing? How about phoning people and seeing how they're doing?
My first question is, are you hungry? Let's go get something to eat. Because
every time he walks in my door, are you hungry? I'm going to get food.
And now I'm going to bring this up with TJ here, because TJ, you were the one out of just a handful of men the last year that sent me a message that said, "How are you doing?"
No way, huh?
Yes.
I'm always texting you about that. Like, what's going on? How you doing? Have a great day.
But I'm just saying, of the men, that you were one of just a small handful of men in the last year that messaged me and said, "How you doing?"
Wow, eh? That's great. Cool. Thank you.
So I want to say thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, right?
It's a weird world for sure.
It is, right? Well, I never know, especially with so many female front women now, when you're talking to the band and you send them message. I always wonder, do they think I'm just some creeper? Fucking, waiting for that dick pic to come through or something? You never know, right? So,
well, everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's so different. Yeah, you haven't sent dick pics. No.
No.
That's a whole different channel. Yeah.
That's a different channel. My son said, "Mom, did men not realize that doesn't even make it that far? You would make it way further with women if you didn't do that."
Absolutely.
It's
interesting. It's interesting to see the courage that some of them have when it comes to that, though, because TJ's not wrong. There are a lot of creepers out there, you know what I mean? So I can understand why TJ has that fear sometimes when he messages, the front women and says, "Hey, how's it going? This is who I am," and whatever. And if he doesn't drop his entire, I run this, I want to interview you this, for, it's interesting to see how women respond. I know myself that some I just don't respond to at all because there's no context to why they're messaging me.
No.
I could see that. I could see that for sure. But I mean, I'm an artist and a musician, so I have DJs contacting me, and I have musicians contacting me to play shows, asking if I need a guitar player, and so for me, I understand. Like a younger woman might get offended or freaked out, but I don't. It doesn't bother me.
That's what I mean. Sometimes even when I'm texting, I'm not even texting about the show or anything. I'm just asking, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah, exactly.
Have a great day,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you came knocking on my door in the middle of the night, that would be a different matter.
Well, I'll make sure I wear the right attire. Don't worry. I'm getting all the love this morning. Look at this, baby.
Oh, boy.
Making me blush.
I didn't even see Sarah's comment. Every time a comment comes up, I see their name, but it's right underneath the private chat. And when I move the phone up just a little bit so I can read it, when the next one comes up, it resets my phone so I can't see it.
Oh, okay.
So I wait until after the show when I'm using my phone. But all I can see is names. I can't see what people are posting. So.
Okay. This is cool. I haven't ever used the Restream yet. I did a couple
so far. I like how it flows.
Yeah, it's working really well. I did an interview down in Washington, but they used a different system the other day.
Probably Zoom. Zoom seems to be really popular, but I've always had nothing but problems with it, so I gave up.
Yeah, no, I stuck with Restream. Once we discovered this is where we stayed.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's good. Once you find something that works, stick with it.
That's right. That's right.
So.
Yeah, especially since we're still learning all the technology. This is the easiest thing for us to navigate, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Is that too loud? I put a little tune of yours in the background. Hopefully it doesn't get us shut off. Can you even hear it?
Not me, but not really.
I can hear it a little bit. Like I can tell that there's tunes in the background, but
I'll throw it back up later.
Yeah, when we do
how that works.
When we do the title, the Facebook title, because that's usually the one that dings us, we'll just go in and change it, stating that we do not own the rights to the music and that the artist in the interview does, in hopes that will stop us from getting the ding.
Brings me to my next question, actually, is you're an independent artist, are you not?
Yep.
Yeah, so as long as you don't sue us, or if the person you're using the music with or collaborating is cool, that's using it, we can use it. I learned.
Oh, you're talking about the copyright when you stream music? That's out of my hands. Anytime it gets sent to a distributor and it's all copyrighted on that end, I have nothing to do with that.
Oh, I've had a couple shut down just recently.
Yeah.
Because there was music in the background because we did the interview.
They're very
bar, right?
The reason, but you know what? Like, let's face it, they're doing that for a reason. Because musicians, like, I've been doing this 10 years. Nobody buys music.
No, right?
But, a handful of supporters do. And thank you for all those people that have purchased my music and helped that way. Thank you.
Yeah.
But, like, in the scheme of things, one album I released, it was downloaded illegally 500 times.
Holy.
Wow.
And it's like, if you just donated me 10 cents, I would have gotten some money out of that.
Yeah.
And so you can stream it on Spotify. You can stream it on iTunes. I'm starting to put all my albums up on YouTube too, so people can just stream it through YouTube because some people use YouTube to listen to music. I do that now.
I do.
So
I do.
The reason that copyright thingamajig happens is because they're trying to protect the artists, right?
Absolutely.
So there's a reason for that. And in the end, I think the artist will get a little bit of money from Facebook and Spotify and stuff from those plays. But I have another friend in Washington, and my last album, we did a little really cool special event online similar to this where we watched him paint the album cover and listen to the music at the same time.
No way.
And so it was really, really cool. That was in January.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like a really cool event because, January, it's fucking winter. Nowhere to go, nothing to do.
I sent the song to you, Danica. It's already on its way to you, so you can check it out there, because I don't want to get it shut down. So I'll shut her off for now. I'll just send the music out to people here. I'll make sure it's up on my story, and we get it up on here as much as we can, too, as well. Right?
So this fellow that in Seattle, he does a show similar to this once a week, and he plays other blues artists, like he helps the blues artists, and then he paints other art, his own art. And he gets shut down often by Facebook.
Yeah.
It's an algorithm that uses it, picks up on certain notes, and poof, clears the music, and then it's over.
Yeah. So, but I mean, for people that do want to support the artist too, I always say this, and I'm gonna talk about this philosophy if you don't mind, you guys and gals.
Yeah.
Because people don't tend to buy much music anymore, and they stream it on Spotify and iTunes and la la la. If you really like the artist and you believe in what they're doing, send them a message, because sometimes that keeps people going. Send them a message, okay, not a dick pic.
Yeah.
But
no matter how much you make it look beautiful, it's not beautiful, right?
And also you can request their music on the radio, because radio stations, if they like the music, will play it, and then maybe an artist will get some radio royalties later down the road, 6 months down the road. So if you do, there's many ways to support artists besides buying their music. I hardly have any money, and I know a lot of people don't have money, but there's ways to support them. Other ways. So please try to do that if you believe in somebody's music.
Yeah. No, we're always about that too. Like, I don't know how many people have come back after the show and said, thank you for putting our music up. Thank you for having us on the show. Like, I didn't realize it's not that there's not enough outlets for you guys. There's just not enough people reaching out to you from those outlets saying, hey, come here and put your music out, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of outlets like us look at it the other way around, where they expect the artist to come to them. I know Thrasher's Paradise, little shout out to Colin. I know that Thrasher's Paradise does it like we do, and Colin goes looking for artists and he puts them out there. Yeah. So, I think that's a common misconception or not misconception, but miscommunication, is where some expect, some stations, podcasts, stuff like that, expect that artists are going to reach out to them, and some artists expect that they're going to be reached out to, and some think that it works that way, or don't know how it works, or whatever. And it's sometimes difficult to connect the two together. I know for us, TJ, he'll just message anybody and say, hey, not anybody, but like any of our musicians, and say, hey, we've listened to you and we want you on our show. Do you find I know that you're one who seems to reach out and have people reach out to you, but do you find it difficult sometimes to connect with podcasts, radio stations, stuff like that?
No.
Good.
I have people contacting me all the time. Especially because I have a name for myself already in the blues scene, and I also have a lot of networking and contacts. But I also believe in kicking down the door.
Yeah,
I don't believe in waiting, and that's the same with anything in life. Don't wait, because they don't know who the fuck you are, maybe, right? And
absolutely.
Yeah, just because I've gotten played and got nominated and blah blah blah. I mean, I've just acquainted myself with a few blues DJs in Canada. Yeah. And I've released 9 albums that have been playing all over the place, and they've never heard of me before. I'm not offended. It's because they just haven't been, whatever. They haven't heard that show, or they haven't met me, or I haven't reached out to them. So don't sit.
Those moments that keep you humble in that sense. You know what I mean? It's not like everywhere you go, you have people flashing pictures and fucking trying to get your autograph.
Yeah,
that tends to ruin a lot of people to have that where you can't even go buy a pack of smokes at the fucking corner store because you have that fame or whatever about you.
Yeah, somebody's stopping you or asking a question or wanting something from you or whatever. It's kind of nice to just
be able to go to the fucking store. Like, I actually got recognized the other day. I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome.
That's fun. Yeah.
I get recognized sometimes when I'm out. People know, oh, you're in whatever. I mean, it's good. It's fine as long as they're not bugging me. And
no, I don't mind too much, right? But there's going to come a time where I'm going to live in the woods, and no one's going to know where the fuck. Nobody knows where I live now. So
what I do find happens to me, and I'm going to say this too, is because I'm so busy with music and always doing recordings and things, and I try to play shows, but I can't right now, obviously. I have people sometimes reaching out to me and saying, hey, can I open for your next gig? Or, hey, can I play guitar on your new album if you're ever looking? And this is what I say to people. If you want me to support you, guess what that means?
Yeah, you get to support
That means I hope to see you at the show.
No, exactly.
I hope to see that you're going to be supporting me, because this is how this goes down. I'm not going to just randomly call a stranger to come and play guitar with me. I'm sorry, I'm not. But if you introduce yourself and you come to a show and show me support and keep in touch with me and vote for me on CBC Searchlight, whatever the hell it is, this is a networking thing. People don't know how to network.
No.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's where I found out I'm kind of natural at it. Like, it just comes naturally.
Yeah, you are. You are. And like TJ, you know, you guys set this up with me to come on. And what have I done? I sent TJ a couple artists already, or one at least anyways, and said, hey, man, like, this is networking. I'm trying to help you guys out too, right? I tag you on the Facebook. How many people that I know that I worked with that don't tag people?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know in the beginning, a lot of our shows, like, we didn't know how to tag people and shit. I personally
That's fine.
Yeah,
we didn't know what we were doing. We knew what we were doing, but we didn't know what we were doing.
Definitely learning very quickly.
But you try to do whatever you can, right? And to helping. So what I say to people that are listening is, if you want to get into doing music, go show support to the other musicians that are out there doing stuff right now. Because when you go out to a show, I know we're not going to shows right now, but when you go out to shows and you sit in the audience and you support them and you're one other person there and go up and say, hey, thanks, I'm glad I came out, and introduce yourself, you're creating a bigger circle of a big network. And here comes the religion part again. I mean, that's what it takes. It takes, like, when you introduce yourself and you're supporting those artists, they might call you and say, hey, you want to open for me?
Mm-hmm. No, it's so true. And it almost goes for any field in the art, whether you're painting or you're a comedian, you know, reach out to your other fellow comedians. Like, you're kind of local to us because we always ask, who are the local bands in your area that we should be listening to? But you've already sent them to us, and we're working on getting them on this show. But maybe give a little shout out to your voice band and fucking tell us.
Oh yeah, I will do that. My boy. And the ones that I believe in, right? You know, that kind of thing. Whoops. Oh, these things are falling off. So, but I think that's an important part of the whole philosophy of music and trying to continue on doing music. And right now, with COVID, there's like hardly going to be any gigs. I have one gig booked this summer at one of the festivals here. And, you know, who knows what'll happen. But it's important to support each other, too.
No, 100%, right?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. I taught my children that when they were little. I used to take them to coffee houses, and my littlest one, the one that's in the punk rock band, he was like 8 or 9. Why do we have to go and see this stuff? And I said, 'cause, honey, when you become an artist, which you're going to be, you will want people to come and see you. And that's what it takes. You have to support people, and they will support you. Not always, of course, and you can't always support everybody all the time. I understand that. So he learned really quickly, and in those punk concerts, they only play like 3 songs, and then the next band's up.
Right. Yeah, it's quick changeovers for them. Right?
Yeah, whereas my concerts could be the whole night, or you know, 2 sets, 3 sets kind of thing.
Yeah, whereas you take a bit of a break, and then you go back up, play another set. Right?
Yeah.
Well, when you have 9 amazing albums to fucking sing, it's nice to see that you mix it up when you're on stage, that you have the ability to do that, right?
Yeah. So that's an important. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I think that's an important part of getting into music and continuing on doing music too, is just having a network of people that you support back and forth.
Basically, don't be a douche. You know, help everyone out, right?
Yeah, if you can. But you know what, TJ? What that means is thinking of other people.
No, exactly, right.
And that thought is not impossible, exactly, but it seems to be tricky for some people.
In case you can't, we have mud wipes for all your dirty deeds.
Is that a sponsor of the show?
Yeah, they're an official sponsor, yeah.
That's awesome!
They're not a real company, but we're going to make
them one.
But are you joking? Is it a joke?
No, they're not. They're not a real company. They're our official sponsor.
Oh, because I could share it.
Oh, share it up. Spread the word. Mud Life.
Definitely.
Only if you're a company that you can get something from. What the hell?
As for now, the only thing we get out of it is a laugh, but
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was a sponsor.
so I'm just keeping an eye out the window. My kids are on their way home soon.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah, that's right. They were out for the weekend, right?
yeah, they were at Dad's playing trampolining and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, getting dirty, which is nice. And then I'm going to drag them to the park for the afternoon because that's where I plan on working.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like doing what we do between the writing
I love what I'm doing, though.
Oh yeah,
It's funny,
between the
guys
writing and what we
work,
do, it's great.
they're starting to catch on. A couple of them are starting to catch. The guys at work realize I just go to work to make enough money to do the show. They're like, how come you never work Saturdays and Sundays anymore? Well, fuck, I got other things to do now, Butler.
Just enough money to build the stage.
Yeah, I can't wait. Actually,
yeah, you're thinking of doing a festival, are you, or what?
Well, hold on.
I've already broke. Yeah.
Did it come up? Oh, come up in the corner. Hold on. I'll bring it up here. So this is the view. Did it come up?
Not yet.
Oh, that comes in behind. Oh, where the fuck is it now? I don't even have it on here now.
Hang on, I might.
Oh, well. Yeah, I'll show you some pictures. Yeah, we've been hard at work building a outdoor festival area.
Yeah, we've. You can see it in the corner of the screen.
Right.
In the little logo area, right? It should be right beside, or it was right beside me. I don't know if just we can see it. But TJ broke ground a couple of weeks ago, and the view from
up there,
the photo
I see it now.
the view from that photo is from the stage.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be quite the thing. We're still working on the design of the stage because we're not sure if we're allowed to build a permanent stage or if it has to be removable. So we have two designs in the works right now, but we've got the land cleared and everything's level. So we're just building the like lounge areas and shit around the side with berms and stuff, so you'll be able to sit down and relax if you don't want to be standing, We'll have little benches all throughout, garbage cans.
That's cool. Well, when it comes further on down the road for the plan, if you're trying to pull together fundraising for a festival grant or whatever, let me know because I've done some grants before.
Oh, we will definitely be talking this week, if not later this afternoon about that then for sure.
Yes.
I mean, it's a little competition. I don't know if they wouldn't fund the ones that I know about though. They wouldn't fund like a building. But they might fund the performances, maybe. I don't know.
The performances would be perfect because then I could put more money into building the stage, and that would save me money on the bands themselves, right? So.
But a grant would have to be used for the performers, probably. But it all depends on what it is. It all depends on what it is. Like, there's a few different grants. I think Canadian Heritage gives out money for like performance. I don't know. But we get, if I think of anything, I'll send you a message about that.
No, it'd be excellent. Yeah, we can definitely touch base.
Awesome. So is there anything that you want to talk about that we haven't covered during the show?
I don't think so. I think I covered most of the things. Again, my name is Sunday Wilde and I live in Thunder Bay and I have like 9 releases out, but I've also been a part of other people's albums. I helped produce my partner's album too, and I was part of a few different compilations along the way. Please go support different musicians if you think that their music is cool. Comment on their YouTube videos. I have a YouTube channel. I'm trying to pump that up a notch.
Yeah.
We'll share that up too.
Yeah, we'll get all that up afterwards.
I've got a couple homemade videos on there. The one I did the CBC Searchlight one I made in my house on my phone. I was trying to take a video camera of me like resting in bed and being all depressed because I have been. And with no makeup on and my hair's a mess, and I was like, oh, okay, this is good enough.
I will be right back. I just have to run and get the keys.
Well, even the this morning we were laughing about brushing our hair. Oh fuck, we gotta get ready. Blah.
I know. I know.
I jumped in for 10 minutes, but I didn't do nothing. I just kind of washed up and then.
I got to work tomorrow, so I'll do that later.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. Gardening.
Yeah, I got a busy week coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, work will be crazy this week for the most part. But you know, it is what it is. We got to make our money, right? So.
Exactly. Well, good luck with the festival thing,
Oh,
the stage and stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
We're hoping
sounds exciting.
August next year, 2022 is give or take August, September when we're going to lock in the date. And then I've locked in a few bands, but I don't want to make any announcements yet because we're still working on permits, some of the permits and shit. So, but I think
that's exciting.
Everything looks like it's rolling pretty good. So on top of all the 2 new shows I'll be bringing, I'm building the festival in the background as well, right?
You're a workaholic. Wow.
Yeah. Been busy.
Yeah, you work a lot. Wow.
Well, the great thing is with bringing on the new content creators, like doing the comedy show and with the cooking show, that gives me time to relax. Now I'm not the only one on the show all the time, right? Now I have Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays off to focus on what I'm doing on the bigger scale of things behind the scenes.
When is the comedy thing starting? Because I know a lot of comedians around here.
Oh, I believe we are booked for May and June. So July, we want to roll out the new schedule and have the new programs going, right? So.
Okay, I'll ask around and see if there's anybody that is still doing that or not. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. If I hear of anybody, I'll shoot them your way, though.
Yeah, no, that would be excellent because I do. My one buddy, actually, Danica, she was commenting today. She's
here still.
Yeah, she's in the comedian end of it too, and she knows quite a few people down in the States way, and then also my buddy Max the Million up here in Montreal, just for last festivals and shit. He knows quite a few comedians as well. So.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story then, and Danica's here, so she'll appreciate this.
Yeah. When
I played in Toronto, I did a couple shows in Toronto in my career so far, and we had women comedians in the middle of our shows. That's what we did. We hired them because we wanted to support other women, and we have some comedian friends that live down there, so we just put them on the bill because we like to do like variety shows, and that mixes it up so the audience. You know, it's not all music. It's a little bit of comedy, a little bit of music.
Yeah, right.
So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah, it was
fun. She will actually probably be joining us on the blues trip down to Memphis. She's actually in West Virginia, so we can cruise around.
Danica?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, her and I go way back, man. We go back 20, 25 years now, right? So.
In Virginia?
Well, I'm originally from Georgia. Like originally, that's where her and I.
You're originally from Georgia.
Yeah. But she lives in Virginia now, right? So.
Oh, that's so cool. So then, so you drove through Kentucky. That was one place I drove through when I came up from Nashville. Oh, Kentucky was beautiful.
I like Kentucky, man. Nice setting through there too. Virginia, West Virginia, especially, right?
Yeah, really exactly. It was cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went down. I think my favorite spot was when I was driving through New Mexico, man. Just that desert scene. I got a fantastic photo of just the road with nothing else around. So
I've never been that far south. That's far, hey? And New Mexico's right on the border, right? Like of the.
Yeah, it's pretty close, just above Texas, Arizona.
Oh yeah, I've never been there yet.
Not yet.
No, not yet. I'm saying not yet.
Yeah, right.
I have one of the first drummer that ever played on one of my albums was from Texas.
Oh wow.
Yeah, her name is Carol Durkeen, and she got in a big book about women drummers, actually.
Oh wow. Maybe you'll have to introduce us and have her on the show one day.
Yeah, she's in Texas right now, and she was in the top, I think, a book about 100 women drummers or something, and she was the first drummer that I ever recorded with, and she was from Texas, yeah.
Oh, wow, man. There's quite a few awesome bands down in Texas there, like Cauterize is another fantastic heavy death metal band from out there.
Oh, cool. Well, you guys, I'm getting to be where I might have to go soon. Or do you want to? Yeah? Okay.
I'm probably in around then. I got a few adulting things I got to do today. But
Yeah,
I gotta go to the
play
grocery store. You're going to play at the park. I got to go get groceries.
I did that yesterday. I pretended to be an adult yesterday. Not today.
We did a bunch of filming and stuff yesterday, so I was pretty fucking busy yesterday.
Yeah. Well, why don't we kick everybody out and keep you for 5 minutes backstage, and then we'll all go about our day.
Okay, thank you so much for the people in the chat room sending messages.
Yeah,
and everybody stay safe.
Take care, everyone. Let me pull up a couple more before we jump out.
Yeah.
Final couple.
Yes, sir. Take care, Antonica, and somebody else there, but not anymore.
Oh, yeah. Want me to take us off? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna.